top stories this evening, sponsored by Courts, bringing value home. Aubrey Norton. Top stories this evening, sponsored by Courts, bringing value home. Aubrey Norton to take legal action amid allegations of sexual harassment by Vanessa Kissoon. The cross-border illegal gun trade, Guyana and the United States working to stem the flow. Body of teen found hanging in Lenora Secondary School's dormitory. Police investigating the incident. And Christopher Ram accuses ExxonMobil of misrepresenting figures in its 2023 financial statements. HGP Nightly News begins now. Good evening to our viewers here in Guyana and online. I'm Travis Chase with the Wednesday, June 19 edition of the HGP Nightly News. We have what you need to know this evening. We begin by telling you that incumbent leader of the People's National Congress Reform, Aubrey Norton, is contemplating legal action amid allegations of sexual harassment by Vanessa Kissoon. Here's more.
As the People's National Congress Reform, PNCR, is gearing for its 22nd biennial Congress slated for Friday, June 28, there seems to be an attempt to tarnish the reputation of the party's incumbent leader, Aubrey Norton. Norton, who emerged as the election's frontrunner with some 177 nominations on Wednesday, debunked allegations of sexual harassment towards Vanessa Kissoon, following a social media post by Eglin Gomes. The opposition leader said that he has engaged his attorneys on the subject and instructed them to take legal action.
I've instructed my lawyers to take legal action on this matter. May I also state that I see it as part of a political plot, since I have out-nominated my contenders, and Eglin Gomes.
Norton said that a social media post by Gomes is malicious and is known to be campaigning for one of the contenders.
I saw a malicious and false post by one Eglin Gomes contending that there's some allegation of sexual harassment against me. I wish to make it very clear that at no time in my life did Sharma Solomon ever ask me to drop Vanessa Kissoon to Linden. Secondly, at no time Vanessa Kissoon and I were in any vehicle alone heading to Linden. All of these claims are false and malicious.
Norton called on Linden Mayor Sharma Solomon and Councillor Vanessa Kissoon to denounce these false allegations, since failure to do so would imply that they are complicit in the malicious post by Gomes. However, a few hours later, Vanessa Kissoon released a video statement refuting Norton's claims.
Mr. Norton suddenly stopped the car, and I heard the locks. As you know, when a car is locked, it clicks. He then looked at me. I was in the passenger seat. He's the driver. And he showed me his gun in his foot. And he said, this is where he normally carries his gun. And then he further said to me, if I put this gun to your head and rape you, what would you do? I said to him, because at that time I said to myself, you have to be strong. And I said to him, I ain't afraid of that, nor you.
Kissoon, however, said that while she had communicated with Gomes and a third party on the matter a while ago, she did not approve of Gomes publicizing her story.
I did not, in said conversation, approve of Mr. Gomes taking my story public for any purpose whatsoever.
However, Deputy Mayor of London, Dominic Blair, in a statement, said that as the party approaches election season, it is critical that it upholds its principles with utmost respect and professionalism. He said that the recent criticisms directed towards the PNCR's current leader and other members have quote-unquote crossed the line into character assassination. Blair, a member of the PNCR, said that the party must focus on discussing policy differences and the vision each candidate brings rather than engaging in divisive tactics that would undermine the collective strength of the party. Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Thank you, Antonio. Guyana and the United States are deeply concerned about the trafficking of illegal weapons into Guyana. They are now sharing intelligence to stem the flow. Here is more. Local law enforcement cannot seem to arrest the issue of illegal guns coming in through Guyana's porous borders, especially from neighboring Brazil. It would appear that Guyana has asked the United States for help in this regard. American Undersecretary for Arms Control and International Security, Ambassador Bonnie Jenkins, told reporters recently that the worrying issue came up for discussion when she met with top executives in the security sector in Guyana.
Yes, it has come up, and so we recognize that that is a problem. And so actually we talked about that problem and that we have to think about and work closely to try to figure how we're going to address that problem. So it did come up. I am aware of it. And so we're going to think about how we can fix that.
Most recent police records have shown that Brazilian-type weapons have been the choice for criminals. Brazil is the second largest producer of small arms in the Western Hemisphere. Ambassador Jenkins said that Guyana and the United States are sharing more intelligence on small arms.
I can't say how much intel sharing is actually taking place. I do know that we have been able to do more with Guyana, and we recognize that by doing that, we're able to both be better on both sides. Both the U.S. and Guyana can do better if we can share and be more transparent on what we're learning, what we're seeing. Beyond that, I can't really say how much is actually being shared, but I can say that we believe that we are looking at all the different ways in which we can better educate each other on information and data that will help us implement and ensure that we can reduce, small arm trafficking.
Speaking on the issue of illegal guns in Guyana, the ambassador said the United States, Guyana, and the Caribbean Community CARICOM are working very closely to try to harness this issue. Mainly
just continuing to work, just helping to inform us in ways that we can help to make sure that as I talked about the export ban, we want to make sure that as we work with the country to determine what comes after that in terms of how we will start to import small arms, that we do it in a way that can make sure that it's effective and not going places where we don't want it to go.
Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News. You will hear now that the Guyana Police Force is investigating the death of a 14-year-old Lenora Secondary School student.
According to a police report, the incident occurred sometime around 15 hours 30 and 16 hours 30 on Tuesday. Reports indicated that the grade 9 student, who is also a dormitory student, was unaccounted for. And according to the dorm's father, checks were made around the school's compound. Shortly after 16 hours 30, the dorm's father continued the search, which took him to the male dorm, where it was discovered that the door to the male washroom was locked from the inside. The dorm's father said he managed to get the door opened, then discovered the lifeless body of the teen suspended in the air with a sheet around his neck. The teen was rushed to the Lenora Cottage Hospital, where he was pronounced dead by a doctor on duty. The body was then transported to Ezekiel Funeral Home, where it awaits a post-mortem to determine the cause of death. Social media posts indicate that the now dead 14-year-old student was among other students consuming alcohol. They were all unsupervised at the learning institution. Many took to social media expressing sadness and concern over students who were left unsupervised while at school owing to the ongoing nationwide teacher strike. Today marks 70 days of the strike, and according to the information coming out of the Labour Ministry and the Guyana Teachers Union, the way forward is yet to be determined. I am Carice Gonzalez reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Over in the education sector, there seems now to be no end in sight to the ongoing industrial action by the nation's teachers. No terms of resumption have been crafted. As teachers across Guyana enter day 70 of strike action over collective bargaining, the Guyana Teachers Union and the Ministry of Education remain at odds over the terms of resumption for teachers. President of the Guyana Teachers Union, Dr. Mark Light, updated Nightly News on the issue on Wednesday.
In relation to the teachers' strike, we are still without a terms of resumption. The last time the union would have sent a document which spoke about the conditions and terms of resumption, to which the ministry responded by not agreeing with several of those.
The Guyana Teachers Union and the Ministry of Education met over 10 days ago for the continuation of talks, and those talks again ended in a stalemate. Today, Wednesday, June 19th, 2024, there is still no date set for the resumption of talks.
Presently, the whole process is stalled with regards to how we go forward with terms of resumption. And the union again commits itself to work in the best interest of the Guyanese children. And we will continue to engage the ministry.
Nightly News understands that the GTU has proposed a compromise in which it is willing to work with the government and begin negotiations from the years 2022 to 2025. The government seems unmoved by this.
Of course, government is looking to protect its side as well, so it has to be something that is fair for both parties. As of now, there is no agreement in terms of the terms.
Dr. Light said given the current stalemate, the union has met at an executive level and are crafting certain measures that would determine the way forward.
And these recommendations and suggestions are now being taken into consideration by the executive and by General Council so that a decision can be made on the way forward.
The matter is now engaging the Court of Appeal, with the government seeking to overturn Chief Justice Sandal Kisoon's ruling. Justice Kisoon ruled in favor of the teachers. In the meantime, the industrial action by teachers continues. Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News. Stay with us. You're watching the HGP Nightly News.
Transitions Light Intelligent Lenses. Pick your color. Choose your style. Available at Optique Vision Care.
Welcome to SNL Electrical Inc., where lighting's and electrical needs are met with expertise and style. From the latest in electrical lamps to durable cables, circuit breakers, panels, we have it all. Illuminate your space with our elegant chandeliers, stunning crystal lights, and versatile pole lights. Looking to upgrade your comfort? Explore top-of-the-line AC units and our diverse selections of stylish styles. Visit us at 170-180 Thomas Street, Kitty, Georgetown. Discover a solution that not only lights up your world but transforms it. Call us on telephone number 226-3018 or 223-1634. SNL Electrical Inc. powering your life with elegance, quality, and care.
Say goodbye to germs with a free Sterling Super Soap automatic dispenser. That's right, get free equipment and installation of our touch-free dispenser. The perfect amount of soap every time ensures clean and germ-free hands. Refilling is quick and easy with 4 amazing fragrances: coconut, sunflower sunrise, pink blossom, and citrus zest. Call us on 265-7403.
Welcome back to the HGP Nightly News. Chartered accountant Christopher Ram has accused ExxonMobil Guyana Limited of misrepresentation in its financial statements for 2023. The chartered accountant pinpointed that the company included tax charges in its annual report when in reality it received tax exemptions. More from Antonio Day.
ExxonMobil Guyana Limited, EMGL, in its 2023 annual report, stated that after profits and expenses, the operating profit before tax was $752 billion. Ram, who was speaking as a guest on a program facilitated by the Oil and Gas Governance Network, also known as OGGN, noted that the company's income statement shows a charge for taxation of $138 billion. The accountant pointed out that when examining these financial statements, it can be determined that the tax expenses are actually paid by the state.
So there is no tax charge as represented by these financial statements. It's fraudulent.
According to the attorney at law, when you take the oil company's profit for this year, the percentage of the capital invested exceeded 90%. He claimed that the company is continuously finding ways to make profit off of the country, while the government continues to operate as though it is business as usual.
This is what the PPP is supporting, and they're saying, no, we must not touch that contract. Let us stay stifled. Let our parliament be stifled for the next 40 years to 2057. We can't pass a single law to change this arrangement.
Ram reminded Guyanese that the country is roughly getting 12.5% in profit oil and 2% in royalty. He submitted that the report contains a myriad of accounting discrepancies.
When Exxon says, oh, operating profit before taxation, 782 million, income tax expense, 138, 183, that's not true. It's a lie. There is no net income after tax.
The chartered accountant also highlighted that the negligible production costs in 2023 accounted for a mere 4% of revenue, down from 5% in 2022. He said that the only cost which accounts for more than 10% of revenue is depreciation and amortization, accounting for 16% of revenue. Notably, lease interest is stated at $38 billion, which represents a 75% increase over 2022. Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Following a viral social media posts about recent allegations of negligence and malpractice by the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation and the chief neurosurgeon, the institution on Wednesday responded. Find out more from Tiana Cole.
The Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation on Wednesday held a press conference with the aim of addressing the recent trending issues and accusations against the hospital and their head of the neurosurgery department and chief neurosurgeon Dr. Amarnath Dukhi. Chief Executive Officer of the Georgetown Public Hospital, Robbie Rambaran, is advising persons with grievance to make their concerns known by visiting the institution's complaints department rather than going on social media and bashing healthcare professionals.
Going on social media and bashing or us or the healthcare, the reputation of this hospital or the healthcare workers of this hospital is not acceptable. And lots of time, it is far from the reality.
Just recently, a woman in a series of TikTok videos blasted the institution for negligence and malpractice after she claimed that a relative who had a brain mass died at the institution after not being properly attended to.
But when people die of negligence, that is what problem with.
Dr. Amarnath Dukhi, in addressing the allegations, said on April 24, the patient, accompanied by two relatives, visited the hospital after she would have conducted some tests at another institution, and it was discovered that she had a mass lesion. He said the next appropriate step was to get an MRI done, as well as some other tests. The patient was then sent off to have those tests done.
Mom, did you give your patients the medications prescribed on the 15th? I didn't give her this medication, and that's the more exact word. There were 10 more than 9 people in the room because I couldn't find it. Our backgrounds told us that it's readily available.
He added that he asked one of his resident doctors to move the patient from the clinic to the emergency room so that appropriate treatment could be administered for the headache she was experiencing.
And I told her, you know what, this patient should not go home. We are going to send this patient to the emergency room for acute care of her headaches. At that time, the patient was still talking. She was not very clear, but she still could have carried on a conversation.
It was while in the emergency room that the patient had a seizure and died. Tiano reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Thank you, Tiana. Constitutional reform remains top priority for the Alliance for Change, even as considerations are being given to rejoining the coalition with the Partnership for National Unity, so says prospective leader of the AFC, Sherrod Duncan. Antonio Day reports.
Alliance for Change's Sherrod Duncan, during a recent sit-down with Nightly News, said that his party recently held a meeting with leader of the opposition, Aubrey Norton, and team concerning new policies that can be developed once Guyana's constitution is reformed.
In the Alliance for Change, we've pushed for constitutional reform. We're in that process. We've had several meetings internally where we're mapping out the things that we are very, very strong on as a party, and we'll be pursuing for constitutional reform. Even though we wanted to pursue the idea of Cummingsburg 2.0, we were going to wait until the outcome of these electoral processes internally and then meet on that basis.
The General Secretary said that currently the opposition is reviewing the legislation governing the oil and gas sector, as he, Duncan, is disappointed at the manner in which it is managed. Once APNU and AFC comes to a consensus regarding the revised Cummingsburg Accord, Duncan believes that both parties, once elected to office in 2025, will develop a better legislation that would promote efficient management of the petroleum sector.
We don't like at all what's happening with our oil and gas sector. As you know, in the coalition government, we mapped out and had the framework for the National Resource Fund. It looked quite different than it looks now. There was more accountability built into the system, and how those funds are being spent in a very ad hoc manner. All of that needs to change. More accountability built into the system. More accountability on the part of Exxon. We see large spendings by Exxon.
There are currently 21 members of the Constitutional Reform Commission, with former Chancellor of the Judiciary, retired Justice Carl Singh, serving as chairman. Government ministers Anil Nandalal, Gil Teixeira, Dr. Frank Anthony, Pauline Sukai, Kwame McCoy, as well as opposition members Vincent Alexander, Sherwood Lowe, Ganesh Paul, and Attorney-at-Law Nigel Hughes are among members of the commission. Antonio Day reporting for the AGP Nightly News.
Thank you, Antonio. Stay with us. There is more news ahead.
Planning a cleanup? We can help. Sevon's Waste Management skip bins can be provided for home renovation projects, yard cleanup, or construction project. It's simple. Step 1, give us a call. Step 2, we put down the bin. Step 3, load it up with all of your junk. Step 4, we take it away. That's simple. Bins are also available in various sizes, so there is no job that is too big or too small. Call Sevon's Waste Management today at 218-1455.
Smart Minds Educational Institute, offering preschool, nursery, and primary levels. Finally, a school that is every parent's dream. Located at 69 Crow Street, offering academic excellence, trained qualified teachers, small class sizes, personalized care, and one-to-one attention for your little ones. So if your child is for preschool, nursery, or primary level, come to Smart Mind, located at 69 Cross Street or call 231-4885 or 600-9229 to enroll now.
Welcome back to the HGP Nightly News. The 17th session of Guyana Restaurant Week has officially begun, offering food enthusiasts an exciting culinary experience from June 21 to June 30, 2024. This year, the event features 23 participating restaurants across Guyana. Hear more from Carice Gonzalez.
On Wednesday, the Tourism and Hospitality Association of Guyana, FAG, kicked off the 17th season of Guyana Restaurant Week at Atlantis Cuisine, located in the West Central Mall, Lenora. In her keynote address, FAG President Omodeli George highlighted the collaboration with the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, FAO, which encourages participating restaurants to offer at least one local seafood dish at a 10% discount. She further emphasized that FAG has broadened the scope of Guyana Restaurant Week to various locations throughout Guyana, including the Essequibo Coast, to promote inclusivity.
And not only from Region 4, we're going all the way to Region 2, the Essequibo Coast, Region 3 as well, right here, Atlantis and Leonora, Region 7, Bartica, Region 6, New Amsterdam. And we want very much for everyone in soon to be able to go beyond that. So, we'll be going out to sample all that our indigenous communities may have to offer one of these days and really add to it.
However, during the launch, Director of the Guyana Tourism Authority, Kamrul Bashk, echoed similar sentiments about involving restaurants from various administrative regions and called for this to become a national event.
National Restaurant Week, to become not only an event for a few, but for it to become a nationwide event.
Guyana Restaurant Week GRW is an annual 10-day event where partner restaurants offer special menus paired with wines. GRW has consistently attracted large crowds over the years, with a wide variety of food options as restaurants compete to have the most popular menu. Prices are as low as $3,000 for lunch and $6,000 to $7,500 for dinner, inclusive of all taxes. This year's event takes place from June 21 to June 30, 2024, featuring 23 participating restaurants. I am Carice Gonzalez reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
With the aim of enhancing transparency and digitally transforming the land development application process, the government on Wednesday introduced an innovative online planning and development single window system. Find out more from Tiana Cole.
The Ministry of Housing and Water Central Housing and Planning Authority, CHPA, on Wednesday launched the Electronic Planning and Development Single Window System, which now through a single point of entry, applicants can submit, monitor and track the progress of their applications. Once an application is submitted, applicants will receive updates about its status via email. President Irfan Ali, in delivering the feature address on Wednesday at the Otachang Conference Center, Liliendal, said the development of the single window system was done with the aim of increasing efficiency and transparency in decision-making of the applications, and persons are expected to receive a response within 30 to 40 days.
This entire platform is meant to be transferable to all the countries within this region so we can all improve our doing business business indicators, enhance competitiveness and transparency. We are ready to export this. Homegrown, homemade.
The head of state said this system will reduce transaction costs, and this definitely has to put the country in the top 10 where it comes to construction permits.
We are setting ourselves apart here. And this is innovation at its highest.
He added that the system also aims to centralize and simplify the approval process by providing a one-stop shop from all development related to permission and claims.
No one can hold their application on their desk anymore and believe they have all of God's life to approve it. The single window system is a significant shift towards a more rule-based system. Mr. Farid made this point. It is taking away the human biases.
Meanwhile, Minister within the Ministry of Housing and Water, Susan Rodriguez, said the system stands as a testament of the government's commitment to modernization, transparency, and efficiency in delivering service. She added that for the period October 2020 to May 2024, the CHMPA considered 3,611 planning permission applications, with 136 of the applications being directed to the oil and gas sector. Tianoko reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
The Ministry of Natural Resources has initiated a crackdown on gold smuggling by engaging jewelers and goldsmiths aiming to enforce compliance within the industry. There is more from Carice Gonzalez.
Amid rising incidents of gold smuggling, the Ministry of Natural Resources convened a meeting with jewelers and goldsmiths on Tuesday in efforts to streamline the gold industry and ensure compliance with sector regulations. During the discussion, it was disclosed that only a small number of jewelers and goldsmiths currently adhere to the industry's legal requirements. Minister of Natural Resources, Vikram Bharat, stated that his ministry, in collaboration with the GGMC and the Gold Board, is ready to assist jewelers and goldsmiths in aligning with the industry's legal standards.
So the idea behind meeting with you this afternoon is to start a relationship that we can build on, a relationship that we can work together to ensure that one, there is proper compliance, two, that the consumers get their money worth, what they're deserving of.
According to the Guyana Gold Board Act, jewelers and goldsmiths must be licensed by the Guyana Geology and Mines Commission and are mandated to purchase all their gold from the Guyana Gold Board. He also mentioned that the government has been making efforts in recent years to encourage miners to officially declare all their gold, though this continues to be a challenging task. He emphasized the importance of miners complying with the law by purchasing gold exclusively from the Gold Board.
All goldsmith jewelers will have, or must, I say, you shall, purchase gold from the Guyana Gold Board.
However, there have been calls to decentralize the Gold Board and establish branches in all 10 administrative regions. Minister Barrett, though, indicated that this is not a feasible option at this time. I am Carice Gonzalez reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Stay tuned for your regional news.
Hi, my name is Keisha Davis, first of 4 siblings. I'm a mom of 3 and I'm an auditor.
My brother Tariq is a transgender man, which means he was born female but now lives as a man. He's always known himself to be.
He's great at math. I'm horrible. And he actually helps my 12-year-old daughter with her math. As soon as he gets home at night, he'll say, "Jazz, let's go. What would you like me to help you with?" She actually got a prize in school for full score at math and English. Tariq is my rock. Like, honestly, my confidant. No matter what it is, no matter how horrible it might look through others' eyes, he doesn't judge. And he is there to support me, to support my kids. I don't know my way to do that.
All the big bands, all the big names from all around the world. The return of the biggest chutney show, Clash of the Titans, June 22nd, the Guyana National Stadium, the ICC Cricket T20 World Cup weekend. This is Clash of the Titans. One big stage, one big night, over 7 big bands, over 40 artists performing. June 22nd, the Guyana National Stadium. This is Clash of the Titans.
Step right into the vibrant heart of Guyana with HGP TV's freshest series, Inside Culture. Dive deep into the pulsating core of our spirited nation as we unravel the captivating stories embedded in our arts, music, sports, and beyond. A journey to nurture your soul and celebrate our rich heritage. Join us on HGP TV, where Inside Culture brings you closer to the heart and soul of Guyana, airing Wednesdays at 7:30 p.m. and rebroadcasting on Sundays.
Good evening and welcome to Wednesday's edition of the Regional News. A top executive at the United Nations Migration Agency on Tuesday warned of a catastrophic humanitarian consequences for the spiraling numbers of Haitians forced to flee their homes due to violence fueled by a conflict with armed gangs. Almost 580 people in Haiti are internally displaced, around 5% of the Caribbean country's entire population. According to IOM latest countrywide assessment, a 60% increase of 360 just 3 months earlier. This has contributed to close to 5 million, nearly half the population, facing acute hunger. Gang violence in Haiti surged in late February as former Prime Minister Ariel Henry left the country to seek a speed-up promised Kenyan-led deployment of security force to help national police fight gangs. As armed men attacked the National Palace and broke thousands from prison, Henry was unable to return and pressured to resign. 3 months later, a new government has just been installed, but the Kenyan-led deployment has yet to land. Henry first requested the deployment in 2022. Meanwhile, the violence has cut off supply routes in the country highly dependent on imports of both food and fuel, pushing up prices for basic staples and medical supplies. While businesses have shuttered and alliances of armed gangs have attacked neighborhoods, bringing indiscriminate killings, sexual violence, ransom kidnappings, looting, and arson. Brazil's Supreme Federal Court voted yesterday to indict 3 people, including a federal lawmaker and a former local police chief, accused of planning and ordering the 2018 murder of Rio de Janeiro City Council member Marielle Franco and her driver. All the judges voted favorably to start a trial against Congressman Chinquinco Brazoa, his brother Domingos Brazoa, a councillor of the Rio de Janeiro State Audit Court, and former Rio Police Chief Rovaldo Barbosa. Federal police had arrested the brothers in late March after an investigation found they ordered the 2018 attack. Barbosa, who became police chief a day before the murder took place, was also arrested after he allegedly helped the planning and later worked to sabotage the murder investigation. On Tuesday, the 5 judges of Brazil's Supreme Court's first panel also voted to start a trial against 2 other people who are suspects of being related to the murder. Marielle Franco and her driver Anderson Gomes were gunned down in her car after they left an event on the night of March 14, 2018. Colombia will give legal status to up to 540,000 Venezuelan migrants who are guardians to minors residing in the country, Colombia's country migration agency said on Tuesday. Colombia has been a destination of choice for millions of Venezuelans seeking to escape the political and economic turmoil of their homeland. More than 2.8 million Venezuelan migrants currently live in Colombia, and the measures will benefit adults taking care of some 270,000 minors who have permission to reside in Colombia. Quote unquote. It's a special permission to stay, like the previous ones, that fundamentally seek to integrate guardians, those people who have responsibility for minors, who have a temporary protection permit, and who live in Colombia. Agency Director Carlos Fernando Garcia said. Thank you for watching. I am Tiana Cole.
PNCR leader Aubrey Norton to take legal action amid allegations of sexual harassment. The cross-border illegal gun trade, Guyana and the United States working to stem the flow. Body of teen found hanging in Lenora Secondary School's dormitory. Police investigating the incident. And Christopher Ram accuses ExxonMobil of misrepresenting figures in its 2023 financial statements. Those are our major headlines. For these stories and more, please go to our website. It's www.hgptv.com. I'm Travis Chase. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.